Welcome back, everyone. This is your beer review number 63. Thank you for stopping by. Our next beer that we have to offer is from a company that I know really well. This is the Rogue Ales, Rogue Brewing Company's Hazelnut Brown Nectar. Not a bad beer to say the least. I've yet to taste it, but the appeal overall, as you can see in the label, these images and the label from the company is all rights ownership to them. So I do not own them. I'm using them as common source reference, not references. But simply enough, the appeal itself is pretty interesting. I do enjoy hazelnut coffee creamer and hazelnut coffee. It has a nice aromatic flavor, and I'm hopefully feeling the same. This beer, as we go to the website, they will give you a description on how it came to be. One of the friends of the brewmaster brewed it as a homebrew, and they made it a reality at Rogue Brewing Company. And so let us go to the actual website and do a little bit of snooping around. The Hazelnut Brown Nectar Nutty twist on a European brown ale, 5.6 ABV, 33 IBU, Play-Doh 14 degrees, 36 low. Don't know what that means. I got to do some more studying on that. So, yep, you can read their little description here. They've won a lot of awards over the past 3 years. And their availability is year-round in multiple formats, as you can see here. You can find it near you by clicking on there, and then you can go to their social media and see what they have to offer. Up here, they also have some other options. You can explore their beers, spirits, and you can. Looks like you enjoy their Rogue Nation and shop at their e-store at the links right there. So let us go back to our beer review video, if it'll let me go back. And simply enough, it's pretty simple. So again, the animation shows a little hazelnut, wide-eyed, brushing around. Rogue Hazelnut Brown Nectar, beautiful looking beer. Appeal overall, I'm going to give that appeal an 8 out of 10. This came in one of the craft your own packs again. Let's go for that beautiful pour and then get a little aroma. I'm using a little free crystal glass that I was given. Nice, beautiful brown color right there. So, the aroma's, that aroma's right there. There's some chocolate notes to it. Don't know if it's supposed to be there. Don't really care, but that's what I smell. The hazelnut, it's very, 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 very obvious. It just has a great aroma to it, and if you're going to try this beer, I would suggest that you go after that first. You may not have a good experience with it. You may have a phenomenal experience with it. So overall appeal is 8 out of 10. I really like this aroma. It's almost like an actual hazelnut from a cup of coffee. 9 out of 10. I'm always probably a little bit biased in a positive way for Rogue. Every product that I've bought from them so far hasn't disappointed. Ooh, hiccups. It's a pleasantly simple beer. Kudos to them. As always, the bottle is very, very interesting. Recycling information, government warning. And then who's it's bottled by. So this beer company, Rogue, is out of Newport, Oregon, and it says brewed and bottled by Rogue Ales. So I'd suggest you go to their website, see what they have to offer. A couple years back, they had a sriracha beer that came out, and I quite enjoyed it really, really well. I'm a fan of heat, so that's one of those things that I will actually continue to be a proponent of, someone that supports it, you know. Today I can't really think about all the little English words and make my dictation do really well, but it's okay. So overall, hopefully this animation worked and livened it up a little bit. It's the simplest I could do in a short amount of time. But how's everybody doing? There's a big theme that's going around lately, and simply enough, that theme is overreaction, and I would suggest that we all try to slow down a little bit if we get a little offended by people on social media or the events that are happening around the world today. Because most likely you're not going to have somebody that's growing up in the world today, the teenagers and kids, that are not adept to the ability to recognize when to shut up. We're getting to a point where I don't think a lot of people would be very, very courageous in regards to standing their ground on old ways. So whenever stories and stuff come out where they say kids are acting a certain way that they're not acting, and then adults are acting in a way that they're not acting, and it turns out that the adults are the ones that are actually being the ones that are instigating everything, it really puts a little scar on those people that decide to call for blood whenever they don't know the full story. But hey, so I would suggest that we all look at the situations and take about a day or so to process what we see. And by doing so, we can be slow to build up. Like, there's no reason why we should be angry at something that we don't know the full story about. So, and that's what the media and social media does. They try to grasp our heartstrings and pluck on them until we decide that we're going to give and listen to what they have to say instead of what actual reality is. So, the views that I express are not that of Rogue and Rogue Ales, Rogue Brewing. I just really enjoy the beer. The references and the information for the actual brewing company are in the description below. You can follow some of the other brew review channels that I have listed in the comments below. I thank you to those 30 subscribers that have been staying loyal. I appreciate you guys more than what you know. As always, I ask you to drink in moderation, and when you're doing this moderation in life, I ask you to think about things that you can extend that over to. So, because sometimes maybe that moderation will save you your life, save your job. There may be people in your life that you need to just keep your mouth shut with, and that's practicing moderation. You may feel like you need to stand up and actually talk to those people and stand your ground, but in the long run, again, maybe a little bit of pausing in a day to process what's going on will help you out in the long run. And sometimes there's just people that you just have to let them have the battle each time, because no matter what, circumstances may dictate that they will always win. So, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing beer reviews again. It probably would not happen if it wasn't for people in my life that support me, because right now hours are cut at work below what I would require, and it's a blessing and it's a curse. It's nobody's fault but, the economy and how things go. You can't really be upset at people if they cut your hours back because they're going to give you a normal 40-hour work week. That's just how it goes. Companies can't afford to pay you a drastic amount for doing overtime if you're not doing overtime. And you don't have work that actually justifies that overtime itself. So, but again, I appreciate you all. And that's pretty much it for this beer review number 63. Check out my beer review playlist for season 1. I'm probably going to close it up. I said I'd probably close it around 50. I'll probably close it around either 75 or 100. And then start season 2. Season 2 would be appropriately started around the summertime anyway. And hopefully by then I can incorporate more animations, more lively things into these live videos, and have an actual introduction for my channel added to this so that I can see if I can find somebody that could either be willing to produce a jingle for me, a 4-second, a 10-second, and take rights from that jingle from videos in the future. Maybe that'll work. And I know that it's possible to find people out there that would be willing to do so. But, as always, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit. I ask you that you drink in moderation. I ask that you live your life. And I ask that, and you understand that God is there for you. And, faith in Jesus is what matters. So, I appreciate you all. May God bless you and your families. If you ever want to have a discussion, comment below. I'd be willing to start a discussion on here. We could do any topic, even if I'm not educated enough on it, because you can always learn from facts that people demonstrate and the lacking that they demonstrate in your own life whenever you realize you don't have all the facts. And I'm willing to look like a jackass, to say the least, if it teaches me valuable information that I'll always hold on to in the long run. So, beer review 63s, Rogue Brewing's Brown Nectar, Hazelnut Brown Nectar, closes with a beautiful finish. And overall flavor, I forgot to give you this. I'm going to give it a 9. It was very pleasant. So we had an 8.99. That's one of our better beers over the last few months, 26 out of 30. So, have a wonderful day. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you guys later.